Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on? What's happening, Albert? Adrian, Sean Berry, Lashana, Shauna. Wednesday morning crypto talk, but for most of you guys, it's already the afternoon. So I am running a bit late on this. If you guys could be a fly on my wall, you'd understand. But we keep things going. Get our crypto education in here first thing in the morning. And we'll be getting started in just a second. Hope you guys are having a good Wednesday morning so far. This is Hump Day. Always an interesting day in the crypto world. Martin, you say it's Wednesday night in Sweden. What's going on, Christy in Alaska? Aunt Elle, what's happening? Never a dull day. Never. Any of you guys survive Bloody Wednesday or Bloody Tuesday? It certainly was one. Oh, there is one more place I gotta send this to. Yeah, there we go. How was it on 10:30 and my phone battery's almost already dead? I've been on the phone non-stop since 3:30 a.m. 3:30 in the morning. I'm gonna have a good nap this afternoon. Yeah, Oregon survived, huh? All right, let's get into some crypto news. First and foremost, I always talk about you got to pay attention to geopolitics. What's going on around the world? Because what goes on around the world has a direct impact on all of us. A direct impact. Last night we talked about the BitConnect platform that shut down its lending services and the reasons that they gave why. And it's the same reasons that I have been talking about with geopolitics. You know, they did their own projections, looked at what the market was doing, and was like, okay, we need to react to this. So what happens in other countries affects us. So you got to be able to pay attention. One of the countries we covered was Venezuela, because other countries in the world are watching them closely. Their Bolivar, I think I'm pronouncing that correct, fiat currency collapsed. And the people are running to Bitcoin. So what the government attempted to do was say, all right, we'll create our own cryptocurrency and ban Bitcoin. So it quickly happened in the case of just 1 week where they announced the petro coin, which is oil-backed. 2 days later, the parliament says it's illegal. The next day, the president says, I don't care what the parliament says. We're going to do it anyway. And today, a new order comes out, says Venezuela considers selling its oil-backed cryptocurrency with a 60% discount. Now, that's interesting. So I haven't read this yet. We're going to see. Are they talking about selling this on the world market for the rest of us? So I don't know if I'll read the entire article. I'm just going to get a couple of snapshots here. But the advisors of the Venezuelan government have recommended that the country's oil-backed cryptocurrency, the petro, be sold in private placements at a discount of up to 60%. Private placements. 38.4 million petros with a face value of around 2.3 billion could go on sale starting on February 15th. So I don't know if that means, are we able to buy that? Would you want to even buy that? The newly formed advisory group to the Venezuelan government, VIBE, has reportedly provided a recommendation on how to start selling the country's oil-backed cryptocurrency, the petro. The group consists of crypto experts close to the government, And Reuters described, according to a government review, that Vibe recommended Venezuela sell 38.4 million petros with a face value of around 2.3 billion in private placements starting in February 15th, at a discount of up to 60%. Another 44 million petros with a face value of 2.7 billion should be offered to the public a month later. Relax, guys. My private is blowing up here. Yes, I will share what my plans are at the end. So you got to stick around to the end to hear, 24 hours has passed, almost 24 hours. And you got to process things and you decide and plot your next move. So I will talk a little bit about that at the end. How you doing, Nicole? All right, let's see here. They want to, the petro journey. Each petro will be backed by 1 barrel of Venezuelan oil and will be sold at the same price, which last week averaged $60.4 per barrel. That would put the value of the entire petro issuance of 100 million tokens at just over $6 billion. So who knows if he's going to pull this off. So we want to keep an eye on what's happening in Venezuela. Other news came out of Bali. Crackdown on Bitcoin hits businesses in Bali. So let me put that article here. Pay attention to what's happening in the world. What does Bali have to say? How are they cracking down? Having issued a stark warning to all parties against any use of virtual currency, Bank Indonesia has now joined forces with local police to prevent Bitcoin transactions where they are most likely to take place, in Bali. The island, a popular holiday destination with tourists spending both fiat and crypto, has been targeted by authorities. Inspections of businesses accepting Bitcoin are underway, according to Indonesian media and the crypto community in the country. Now, authorities are on the lookout for illegal transactions. Representatives of the Indonesian Central Bank and the National Police Force on the island have teamed up to investigate cases of cryptocurrency trading deemed illegal by authorities in Jakarta. They have already started collecting information about possible violations. So here's another government doing the same exact thing we always talk about. Number one, we're going to make it illegal. Number two, we're going to look to ban it. And number three, since they realize they can't do either, we're going to regulate and tax it to death. God, man, you guys are blowing me up. Like I said, at the end, I will talk about what my future plans are for 2018. So you got to stick around and hear that. So it says, we are looking out for Bitcoin transactions in Bali, particularly in tourist spots. We will take measures against non-rupiah transactions. So Bali is looking to be 100% against any cryptocurrencies. That's all in Indonesia. So we'll pay attention to what's going on in Bali. How you doing, Rick? So now we're going to get into what's causing the crypto market worldwide to plummet and what's going on in South Korea. So here's this first article. As you can tell, the last 3 days or so, the market has just, the entire market. And it has ramifications. Just been dropping. All right, so what's causing the crypto market worldwide to plummet? The cryptocurrencies market has so far had a rocky start to the new year, with prices of the top coins plummeting alarmingly. On January 16th, as of this writing, only one out of the top 100 coins is in the green on CoinMarketCap. I said it. 2017, Star Wars: A New Hope. Episode 4, 2018, The Empire Strikes Back. There's a yin and a yang. They're going to strike back. And they're coming out swinging in 2018. They are not playing. I don't know if this is a concerted worldwide global effort or each individual country is kind of doing their own thing, but they have the same agenda. We got to stop this crypto madness right now in its tracks. So they're throwing roadblocks in front of it. So let me continue. The total market still stands at $580 billion, but it is still trying to recover from the earlier drop to roughly $543 billion. In fact, January 16, 2018 has been a particularly sad day in the recent history of all cryptocurrencies. You got that right. I mean, I look across the board, not just on the crypto board, but I'm looking at the companies that all took a hit. Major hit. You look at USI-Tech, TCC, BitConnect, all around the same time. Like TCC and BitConnect at the same doggone time. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and pretty much any other popular coin you could think of are falling today after uncertainty over the crypto market in South Korea and China fueled a panic-driven sell-off of virtual currencies. Let's see here. Oh, we've got Cody in the house. Yeah, all right, whatever, Cody. Bitcoin prices plunged over $3,000 on the morning of January 16, 2018, to hitting the lowest ever for the month at $10,500. $10,500. I mean, think about that. We're talking a huge market downtrend worldwide. Worldwide downtrend of this. So everybody got hit. Everybody. No one was left, you know, in the shade. So, oh man, now everybody's hitting me up with programs. I knew that was going to happen. All right, let me continue. While the volatility of the crypto market was relatively higher opening the year, the erroneous report emanating from South Korea about a possible regulatory crackdown created a ruckus in the worldwide crypto market. China's recent accounts of clamping down on mining operations and other far-reaching regulations have also sent chills through the sector. Apparently, many investors didn't want to leave the fate of their crypto holdings to chances after South Korea's finance minister Kim Dong-yeon reiterated that a ban on virtual currencies was still a live option. The South Korean government did later provide reassurance that an outright ban on crypto assets is not necessarily imminent. The Office for Government Policy Coordination stated on January 15th, now think about this, you've got rumors and rumors of rumors. So you ended up having a false rumor that all the governments in Asia were going to ban crypto outright. China had already banned the exchanges trading. And then South Korea did a raid on all the exchanges and the banks. Now, I told you guys that I believe the reasoning for that is because they want to know who's moving money where and be able to track that for spamming reasons. Did I just say spamming reasons? For tax reasons. I'm reading, people are shooting me texts at the same doggone time. It's throwing me off. For tax reasons. That's why. Now, they may say, yeah, we want to make sure that crime and criminal activity is not happening, but they want to know who's doing what, who's making money, and who's paying taxes. And then you throw out there that there's going to be a ban, so everybody immediately wanted to sell to get their profits. Also, I read an article at the same time that we're coming into the Asian New Year as well. And this happened last year around the same time, where in Asia, people sold their altcoins and crypto for cash so that to use for their Asian New Year. You know, that happened last year too. So you've got a combination of effects taking place. So let me continue reading. Apparently, many investors didn't want to leave the fate of their crypto holdings to chances after South Korea's finance minister Kim Dong-yeon reiterated that a ban on virtual currencies was still a live option. Just by saying that caused the market to stir. The South Korean government did later provide reassurance that an outright ban on crypto assets is not necessarily imminent. The Office for Government Policy Coordination stated on January 15, 2018, saying that pulling the plug on virtual currency exchanges is just one of the many possible actions the government is deliberating on to protect investors from crypto volatility and speculations. It reassured that a final decision would be taken only after sufficient consultation and coordination of opinions. You know what's interesting here? When you have the government that wants to make a prediction saying we are taking action to protect the people, by them doing so, they're harming the people. Because without their intervention, the markets are doing just fine. But by them sticking their nose in the business and threatening here and there and everybody else, that causes the panic and causes the market to go down. And then they turn around and see, we told you that the market can go down. That's why we're here to protect you, when you caused the market to go down. You're the cause of it. You're the cause of the market manipulation. And then you turn around and say, see, I told you so. You caused that. If there was no issue from Texas, there would have been no issue with USI-Tech or BitConnect and any of the other companies that saw that and said, man, we don't want to be involved in the United States because we might be next. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy on their part. They say we want to protect you because this could happen, and in doing so, you caused it to happen. It's like this. I'm a Trekkie. I love Star Wars as well, but I'm also a Trekkie. And you've got the Prime Directive. And the Prime Directive is you do not interfere with pre-warp societies. And if you are a Trekkie, you know what I mean by that. They do not interfere with them because you can contaminate their development, their growth. There's an old science saying that the moment you start to observe something, you are now part of that ecosystem. It is impossible to be an observer from the side without impacting what it is you're observing. So when you have the government saying, yeah, we want to make sure that this, and that doesn't happen, by default, you're affecting what's happening. You're causing it. So let me continue. The Office of Government Policy Coordination on January 15th saying that pulling the plug on virtual currency exchanges is just one of many possible actions the government is deliberating on to protect investors from crypto volatility and speculations. It reassured that a final decision would be taken only after sufficient consultation and coordination of opinions. As mentioned above, it's not just South Korea speculations are rife that China is also prepping to block domestic internet users from accessing international exchanges. The country had already imposed an outright ban on Chinese ICOs and exchanges earlier this last year. On January 12, 2018, the BTC reported how the Chinese government is walking the extra mile to make businesses increasingly difficult for homegrown crypto mining policies. Most of the bigger companies are already preparing to expand to overseas markets in anticipation of a total crackdown. And January 16, 2018 will undoubtedly be remembered as a bloodbath for the crypto sphere. I don't think any of us will ever forget January 16, 2018. However, it's observed this market movement is fairly common and happens almost every quarter, which means it's going to bounce back. It's going to bounce back. You're right, Miguel, I have a political science degree, but I can put it to some use. No, on geopolitics. All right, the last article here is the people in South Korea responding to their government trying to put a crackdown. And you think South Korea would learn from what happened in China. Because when China pulled this back in September, August, September of last year, all those people ran to South Korea and Japan. So if South Korea does the same thing, all that, it's not going to stop. Remember last night I said it's like a deflated ball. When you push it in one area, it grows in another. So all that business will just go to Japan. Japan has already made it legal. They're completely friendly. They'll probably look into Canada. Canada's friendly to it. Somewhat so. So it's not going to stop. It's just going to get moved. So let's look at this article about what are the people in South Korea doing. Let me paste this. 215,000 plus signed petition against South Korean crypto regulation. Government to respond. A national petition against extreme cryptocurrency regulations in South Korea has exceeded 200,000 signatures. The requirement for the government to respond. The petition entitled, "Has the government ever dreamed a happy dream for the people?" I like that. And they're right by that. I mean, the people finally find something that is changing their financial situation. And who steps in to block it? The government. And they're doing so saying, we're here to protect you. Get out of the way. So this was filed on December 28th. Meanwhile, another related petition calls for the removal of the governor of the country's financial supervisory service. Uh-oh. See, in the United States, this is midterm elections year. Let's see how quickly around summertime, U.S. politicians are, what side of the fence they're going to be on. Are they going to be on the whole, we want to regulate and ban crypto? Or are they going to be on the side of, yeah, we want to make sure that we're not going to be in the way and we can allow these businesses to be able to innovate? We're lagging behind the rest of the world. This is creating a new industry and new jobs. We don't want to be in their way. So we want a friendly environment here. And what determines what side of the fence politicians will be on? Well, if the politician is being 100% funded by, the banks and stuff like that, you know what side of the fence they're going to be on. But at the same time, if another politician realizes, wow, I can get the backing of the people if I start talking about I'm for cryptocurrency and I'm friendly towards it, now I have a huge voter base backing me up. So this is going to be interesting this year on the midterm elections in the United States. And it depends on what happens over the next 5 months in the crypto space here in the United States. So let me get back to South Korea. The South Korean government announced a series of regulatory measures for cryptocurrencies in December. Immediately following the announcement on December 28th, a national petition entitled, "Has the government ever dreamed a happy dream for the people?" was filed and will run through January 27th. According to the rules set by the Blue House, if more than 200,000 people sign a petition within a month, the government will respond within 30 days. On Tuesday, January 16th, there's that date again, the number of signatures exceeded that threshold for the above petition with 215,000 signatories at the time of writing. The petition reads, "Our people have been able to make a happy dream that they have never had in Korea because of virtual currency. I might be able to buy a house in Korea where it is hard for me to buy my house." Concerning illegal gambling, and the author argues, people are not stupid. In the current era, virtual currency is invested because it is judged to be the fourth revolution and is not just some random investment. I invest wisely to the extent that I do not overdo my money. I want to go back to what I said last year because Cody made up a very important statement, and I respect everybody's opinion. Number one, always watch who you're listening to. That's very important. You accept another man's opinion, you accept their lifestyle, and you never know what people's agenda is. So my advice has always been, and as a disclaimer, and I've always say this, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I share my opinion and suggestions and what I'm going to do in the space. And if you're going to be involved in this space, I guarantee 100% of you will lose somewhere along the line. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how. But on the flip side, I also can guarantee you're going to make more money than you ever have before. There's a yin and a yang. And if you invest in anything, rule number one, never invest with money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number two, Get your ROI back as fast as possible. That's the first goal, so you eliminate your risk. And then the third is you're playing with house money at that point, and you can start to diversify and invest. That's what you do. If you didn't follow that format, then you can't blame me. All right? Because I've been saying that since day one. So let's continue here. After acknowledging the risks, the author emphasized, the world the government see is different from the world our people see. You think you protect the people, but the people think that the government takes away our dreams. Is that only in South Korea? Are they the only people who think that? How about you guys? Do you guys think that? I mean, the government says they're trying to protect us, but in the process of them thinking that they're protecting us, they caused this to happen. I have people that were doing $2,000, $4,000, $12,000 a day with no problems whatsoever until the government stepped in. Now, the government thinks, oh, we want to save you from losing. What you did was you ran the companies out and we lost money. We lost money that we could put back into the economy. We lost money that we could put back into buying houses. We lost money that we could have used to create jobs and invest in our community. It wasn't the company that took that from us. It was the government in their holier than thou way of protecting us. So this isn't just a South Korean deal. This is the people. This is worldwide, the people. So the petition does not object to the real name system which regulators are trying to implement or taxes that must be imposed. And I don't have a problem with that either. I don't have a problem that you want to regulate it to the point that we need to pay taxes. I agree. Pay our taxes. Pay your taxes. However, please do not take away our happiness and dreams that we had for the first time in Korea. It concludes. For those of you who think you lost yesterday, how would you feel to know you started 2018 knowing that you were going to make 7 figures and 16 days later, that part of your investment is gone? And at the end of the day, you always think it's not what happens to you that's important. It's how you respond. So at the end of this, I'm going to share how I am going to respond. So you got to stick around. All right, let me continue. Another petition in a constitutional court case. On December 28th, another national petition was filed. It calls for the dismissal of Choi Hyung-sik, the director of the Financial Supervisory Service, who is offering speculation to the people, the document states. The filing was in response to a speech Choi gave on December 28th, in which he reportedly said, "It is a good bet that Bitcoin's bubble will burst. Bitcoin will lose its bubble later. You can bet." Hankook, Ibo, and other news outlets quoted him. At the time of writing, 37,911 people have signed this petition, but the count is still rising. Meanwhile, the country's constitutional court has entered into a preliminary hearing on the case against cryptocurrency regulation filed on December 30th. Hankook law offices appealed over the government's regulations on cryptocurrency trading, saying regulating the trade through administrative guidance without any legal grounds is an infringement of property rights. The Korea Times explained. The court will examine whether the constitutional appeal is appropriate and whether a full-scale trial is necessary. So this is also one we definitely want to pay attention to, what's going on in South Korea, because they affect the market. The moment that they feel they have confidence that the government ain't going to block them out, you're going to see all of the markets go through a huge increase. We just don't know when that's going to happen, but we see that the people are fighting back and saying, you want to go this route, government officials, we will take your job away. There is power with the people. So now, as I'm going to conclude this, But the last 12 hours, I have been inundated. Inundated. So much so, for the first time ever, my Galaxy S8 overheated and battery was going out. That never happened before. It never overheated on me before. But my wife was like, I had to put everything on mute because the ding 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 dings, everything you hear, and then even the mute, I have it on vibrate, is constant. Even my son was like, "What's going on?" He thought, "Is that another emergency from Hawaii, or is a missile coming our way?" I said, "No," because it's kind of like, you know, the emergency alert. And he saw what happened with Hawaii, so he got a little scared about that. I was like, "No, man, it's just, you know, business. This is a very big business day that's taking place." So people want to know, Brandon, what's the next move? How do we respond? Well, first, I want to cover a couple things, because people are asking me about USI-Tech and TCC. Now, yeah, I had positions in both of them, but I wasn't promoting them. So it's not in my place to really talk about USI-Tech. Only news I've heard was that they have not, or they have not released the money that they promised that they were going to pay out to those that have their packages or whatever in USI-Tech. I am not up to date or up to speed. There's 750,000 people in USI-Tech. You want to go to them for that information. Same on the TCC side. You know, I got the emails, you know, that they decided to pull out of the United States. And they also, what I'm hearing is, lock things up where people are not getting their investments back. I don't know the outcome of that. I don't know the latest news on that. So again, you want to go to those who were promoting TCC and find out what the latest is going on and how they're responding. But when it comes to BitConnect, I can speak on. So the latest news, and I already did an hour-long talk on this last night. So new news today is that despite everyone thinking that there was an exit scam that was done, the website is still there. You're still able to log in. The only thing we cannot do, they closed down the lending portion of the platform. You have to understand, BitConnect had many, many different parts to it. It's a 3-year-old company. The lending was only 1 year old this month. So it was here before the lending, and it's going to be here after the lending. What they do, I don't know. I'm not a national promoter. So I know that they're going to be having a huge meeting. They're flying all their national promoters into Dubai in a couple of weeks. They launched the new ICO, the BitConnect X. There was a new news that anybody that invested in the platform within the last 2 months, because you weren't in it long enough to be able to earn your ROI, that they're going to some kind of way give you that money back in full. They released everybody's funds, and they did so in the BCC token. I criticized them on the way they did it, meaning that there was not enough information given for what people should do once the money hit their lending wallet, their BCC wallet. Because at that point, we were free to pull the money out, and you ended up having a panic sale because people didn't know if what happened to USI-Tech or TCC was about to happen on BitConnect, and you get locked out. So people moved their money off the platform as fast as possible and attempted to sell it while the value of the coin was dropping like a rock. So the worst thing to do would have been to sell. And then it took hours later for them to come back and say, don't move your money off the platform. That one group is saying we're going to honor the price at $363. Another group is saying we're going to give you special discount on the BCCX token, where one BCC is going to be worth 3 BCCX. So one token's worth $150 each. So we don't know on that part yet. So when you're in a situation like that, the best response is to do nothing. To kind of take a pause and sit back and watch the playing field and watch to see what happens and what official news comes from the company. Because right now I keep hearing about trading your BCC for the BitConnect X token. Well, that may sound good, but they already said that United States citizens cannot participate in the BCCX token. So we need some clarity on that. There's no clarity on that. The value of the coin has been going back up. So who knows, because they have other plans for the future of BitConnect. They're not going anywhere. They have big plans. What we don't know is how do we as a community fit into those plans? And how will the value of the coins that we have rise in value for us over the long term? We don't know those answers yet. All I do know is that they haven't gone and they're not planning to go anywhere. And the value of their wealth, because they own the most BitConnect coins. I think it's kind of silly. You know, if I was in charge, I would not have closed the exchange, the lending, until after the completion of the ICO of the BCCX token. Because if you don't have the confidence of the people, then what's the value of the BCCX? Who's going to want to buy it? Who's going to want to buy the BCC? The value of the BCC was a lending platform. Now you take away the lending platform, what's the value of it? Oh, you're going to attach it to something else. Well, what is it? I think that they kind of panicked because they are based in Asia. And I think that when they looked at the markets and then they also saw the rumors that China and South Korea and the government was looking at banning the exchanges and everything, I think that BitConnect accelerated their plans and pulled a knee-jerk reaction to the information they had on hand at the time. You see, hindsight is everything. Everybody can be an armchair general. Everybody's an expert on Sunday night or Monday night football from your living room. But when you're on the field and you're the quarterback and the coach gives you a play and you've got the plan and then you see the defense is reacting to you and the quarterback calls an audible. I think that's what BitConnect did yesterday. They called an audible in the middle of the game plan, and it threw everything into a tailspin, and now they are recuperating and trying to get themselves back on point. Now, all I can say about them is they have done everything they said they're going to do. Everything up to this point. The people, their number one concern is, can I get my money back at the value that I had it in? That's the number one concern, because you gave it back to us in BCC, but the value of BCC dropped. Therefore, if I were to sell right now, I'm not getting the value of my coin. What we're getting from all the top nationals is, hold on to your coin, wait for further information, and watch the value of it start to go back up, and how it's going to be tied to the future of the exchange and all this other stuff. But that is still 2 months away as far as this BCCX exchange. That's still a couple months away. So the best suggestion that I am going to do, because I cannot tell you what to do. We have little Codys running around wanting to scream bloody murder off of an adult decision they made and pointing the finger at somebody else. What I am going to do on that aspect is I'm going to hold my BCC coins. I'm going to see if they say that since I'm in the United States, will I be able to switch it in for the BCCX? And then I'll make a decision on whether or not I even want to participate on that side. And see, will the BCC token, how long will it take for it to rise up in value? Then I can either keep holding it or sell it for a profit. So I'm just sitting back when it comes to that. But we lost one of our major sources of income in our investments. A huge source. Like I said, I've got people, $2,000, $4,000, $12,000 a day. So what is the next plan for the future? Half of those people that has been inundating me have been throwing me 1,000,001 other programs in this space. Some of them are crackpots. Some of them are, crackerjack companies. And some of them are actually legitimate and look very, very promising. So what is it that I'm going to do? Well, we have already been putting the groundwork and the framework, and we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, for in the United States, providing something that our people, meaning Americans, can get involved in the crypto space and have a safe haven, meaning that they can go to sleep at night and wake up tomorrow morning knowing that the company is still there, everything is still safe. There's three main criteria that we're covering here that I can't go into detail, but one is cryptocurrency education. In the United States, that is more important now than before. The worst thing that I always saw was that people would come to me and say, I've got $10,000, I've got $20,000, and I want to invest into crypto. And then the next question on there is, what's a Bitcoin wallet? And I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, you need to get some education before you even go that route. So we made a shift for 2018 to focus on education. Because even when I do these Facebook Lives, I get hit with a bunch of private messages from people say, wow, you know, you've done a lot of research in this space. Can you be my mentor? Can you basically hold my hand and teach me this step by step? And as much as I'd like to do that, there's only 24 hours in a day. And if you've got 500 people asking you to do that for them, it's impossible to do that one-on-one. It's impossible unless I decide to start charging and setting appointments. And I have a better idea. Why don't we create a system that we can point everybody to so that they can get their basic crypto information and knowledge and learn a skill set on the trading of the crypto side and then some. Like I said, I can't give too much info just yet, but we're covering three main things. Number one, cryptocurrency education. Number two, the ability to earn crypto based off of this education in a passive manner. And number three, 100% legally compliant in the United States so that there's no fear of a cease and desist in any state. No fear of the company getting run out of the country because they don't want to deal with the harsh laws in the United States. Those, I think, as an American, are the three most important factors when it comes if you're looking into the crypto space right now. Because the entire industry, no matter whether you're on the mining side, the trading side, the lending side, have all been hit. And I made a prediction last year that a new company will be formed in 2018 that will address all of those and be the safe haven, and it's going to end up being the biggest company in the crypto space because of that. Because if you can pass through all the laws of the United States, then it'll be easy to expand internationally. Much easier if you're able to do it in the United States. So that's what we have been preparing for. And you notice I've been asking you guys, if anybody that wants to be a part of this, you got to shoot me a private message because I'm creating a list for when it comes to launch day. First come, first serve. And so, of course, the first come, first serve are going to be in the best positions. If you are a part of other teams and other companies, go to them first to find out if they are involved themselves. Because we're not into ripping organizations, ripping teams from people. You worked hard for the organization and team that you have. We want you to keep it. See, we're focusing on the goal. If one vehicle breaks down, we just get into another vehicle. We don't want you to feel that you're now back into rebuilding mode. We want you to keep what you have, keep the team and the community together and move forward. But this is not launching until a couple of months. So what I haven't decided yet is, in the meantime, between now and then, is there anything that I might see that might be profitable? Because we are all about diversification to get into in the meantime. And I'm very nervous about doing something like that. So I haven't made that decision yet. Because what I like is have 100% all focus on what it is that we're creating, and that make sure we've got it right. We've got it done the correct way. Everything is spotless and clean. And when we open those doors, it is payday time. But that's still a couple of months away. And I know a lot of you guys are like, well, I want to do something now. I need to do something now. So I know I need a couple of days. I need to sit back. I need to look at, what's going on. I need to look at my own situation, what I can and cannot do financially. Would it make sense to do look at anything else? And I'm getting inundated with so much stuff. So that's all I have for now, guys. You keep posted. I'll be doing a late night crypto talk tonight. I'll repeat the same information. And I do know 2018 is going to be very, very bright. Some of you guys may be reeling right now thinking that you lost a lot. But in actuality, we gained, we learned, we made some money, we know about the crypto space, and it's not the end, it's just the beginning. Some things have run their course, now it's time to move on. You make adjustments. I said it in December 28th. You probably will not end 2018 the way you begin it. But if you focus on the goal, you're still going to get to where you want to be. Because you'll be open to opportunities that prop up that allow and make that happen. So I hope you guys learned something new this morning. I've got a busy day. And those of you, if I have not gotten back to you, please do not take it personally. Eventually, I will. The best way to stay informed is to follow if you're in our private Facebook groups. And when I do these Facebook Lives, when I give updates, not sending me private messages. I can't answer 700 people and saying the same thing over and over and over again. So the best way to stay informed is to stay plugged in. I will continue doing Facebook Lives twice a day at least, and reporting on crypto news and giving you updates on what we're doing going forward, what's taking place, what we can get involved in, so that we all can make some real good money. I don't believe in leaving anybody behind. So with that, thank you for listening. This is Bitcoin Brandon out. See you all tonight. God bless. Bye-bye.